Is the United States preparing for nuclear war? The United States appears to be preparing for a new era of nuclear competition, moving to develop and field a next-generation warhead for the first time in roughly 4 decades. Are U.S. submarines set to become more lethal with the introduction of a new nuclear warhead paired with modern ballistic missiles? In the wake of the Iran war and shifting global threats, the U.S. Navy is scrambling to replace aging missiles and modernize its submarine fleet, accelerating procurement and maintenance plans to ensure undersea forces remain ready and effective in contested environments. NATO partners are also increasing their nuclear-related budgets, boosting spending and coordination as Moscow's nuclear threats intensify and allies seek to reinforce collective deterrence and interoperability across the alliance. The United States is reportedly developing its first new nuclear warhead in about 40 years, a move framed by officials as necessary modernization while prompting renewed debate about arms competition and the shape of strategic deterrence in a more volatile era. The planned W93 Mk7 Warhead is intended to replace aging elements of the current stockpile, combining updated safety, security, and performance features to ensure the sea-based leg of the U.S. deterrent remains credible against emerging threats. Reports say the new warhead will be integrated with future submarine-launched ballistic missiles, enabling a next-generation capability that pairs modernized warheads with upgraded delivery systems for enhanced survivability and effectiveness at sea. The Navy is also advancing work on a hybrid design follow-on to the Trident D5, often described as the D5 LE2, a missile development program intended to extend life, improve reliability, and incorporate new guidance and propulsion technologies for undersea deterrence. The current Trident 2D5 life extension effort traces back decades, with the original missile first entering service in 1990, and continued upgrades have been the backbone of the submarine-launched ballistic missile fleet ever since. Lockheed Martin built the advanced submarine-launched ballistic missile architecture that underpins the D5 family, a sustained industrial partnership that the Pentagon relies on to deliver complex strategic systems at scale. Production capacities are being expanded at facilities in Florida, Georgia, and Washington, reflecting the sizable industrial footprint and workforce investments required to manufacture warheads, missile components, and the specialized hardware for undersea platforms. According to Sputnik International, the new warhead program is scheduled to reach completion around 2039, a long-horizon timeline that underscores both technical complexity and the multi-decadal nature of strategic modernization efforts. This initiative forms part of a major overhaul of the sea-based leg of the U.S. nuclear triad, aiming to ensure that undersea forces remain a secure and effective deterrent even as threats and technologies evolve. The U.S. nuclear triad itself comprises land-based ICBMs, strategic bombers, and submarine-launched ballistic missiles, a three-pronged structure designed to provide redundant and survivable deterrent options across different domains. As the Navy seeks to transition from aging Ohio-class ballistic missile submarines to the next-generation Columbia-class vessels, planners emphasize improved stealth, endurance, and payload handling to maintain continuous at-sea deterrence well into the mid-century. Alongside warhead and submarine modernization, the Pentagon is developing complementary capabilities, including a prompt strike hypersonic weapon and a sea-launched cruise missile, to expand options for rapid, precision engagement across contested environments. Amid rising global tensions, the United Kingdom, the United States and France have collectively increased nuclear spending by about $89.5 billion, a combined uplift intended to modernize arsenals, upgrade command and control, and sustain deterrent posture. Analysts note that those three Western powers are outspending Russia on the nuclear front by roughly 9.4 times, a gap that reflects divergent budgets, industrial bases, and strategic priorities even as Moscow steps up its own force posture. Meanwhile, Russia has intensified its offensive in Ukraine, a conventional campaign that policymakers and strategists say is deepening security concerns and feeding the broader rationale for Allied investments in deterrence and capabilities modernization. Moscow said Bogodarovka was captured after Russian forces pushed Ukrainian troops back. Russian Ministry of Defense said, and I quote, assault detachments of the 36th Guards Motorized Rifle Brigade, 29th Combined Arms Army, Vostok Group of Forces, liberated the settlement of Bogodarovka by pushing Ukrainian formations off the lines on the right bank of the Gaicha River. In the course of the liberation of the settlement, the enemy lost more than a platoon of manpower, 3 armored fighting vehicles, 7 motor vehicles, over 60 Baba Yaga-type hexacopters. The liberation of Bogodarovka made it possible for the group's units to gain a foothold on the right bank of the Gaicha River and disrupt defense of the armed forces of Ukraine in this area. The occupied line creates conditions for further action in the area of Alexandrovka and the advancement of the Vostok Group's troops in Dnipropetrovsk region. Unquote. Russia also released footage it said showed an attack on Ukrainian UAV command posts. A huge shockwave was reported after Russia said it dropped 5 aerial bombs in Donetsk. Russian German drones were also said to have destroyed an enemy electronic warfare command post. The reported high-precision drone strike was said to have taken place in Nikopol in the Dnipropetrovsk region. Russia's defense ministry also claimed strikes using 5 OFAB 250-270 aerial bombs in Kharkiv. Russia claimed German attack drones struck a Ukrainian Special Forces training camp in the Mykolaiv region during a precision strike operation. Russia's defense ministry said German UAVs targeted a special operations boot camp near Pribuzky used by Ukrainian forces. Russian Defense Ministry visuals purportedly showed a German drone slamming into the target before triggering a massive explosion. The released footage appeared to show thick black smoke and debris billowing into the air as the strike devastated the compound. Moscow said the German drones engaged the designated target in a self-tracking mode during the reported attack. Russia also claimed the operation struck troop concentration areas being used by Ukrainian Special Forces units. The Defense Ministry said the reported strike destroyed depots storing special-purpose watercraft and high-speed motorboats. Russian officials further claimed Ukrainian uncrewed surface vessels were among the military assets targeted during the operation.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.